You good. You good. You good.
All right, now, once again, we right back like we never left.
Mm-hmm.
You know what it is. Each and every last Thursday of each month, we're here. This is Man in the Mirror Show. And this is what?
It's
It's,
the
it's,
man.
it's the
It's
podcast, the show that matters.
It's the show
Okay.
that matters. It's the show that matters. That's what.
Y'all all over the
Hey,
place.
just don't do it all at once. Don't
You
say
know
it
what
all
I'm
at
saying?
once. Don't say
You
it.
know what I'm
But
saying?
yeah,
With some unison up in here.
it's
You ready?
it's definitely
1, 2, 3. It's
The
the
talk
show
show.
that matters.
It's the talk show that matters.
Come on,
Oh,
girlfriend.
come on,
Huh?
man.
See,
You know, she a pro at it. She a pro. Trying to throw the pro thing in it. Hey, hey.
Show that matters. That's right.
It really is.
Yeah,
It really
There you
is.
go.
yeah.
All right, back to you.
So we got some wonderful guests here today. Dynamite and all that good stuff. That's from the '70s. If you don't know Dynamite, yeah, but they trying to bring it back. But I might be the first one to coin it tonight. Um, and you know how we do before we get started and get into the meat of the show. We always introduce our hosts because even though it's three, we won. So to my left, I got the very knowledgeable, worldly, profound
Mmm.
gentleman,
Mmm.
Mr. Nate Jenkins.
Put that thing on T, on top. Welcome, everyone, to the Man in the Mirror Show. The because it's personal.
That's right.
And to my left, I got that silver fox,
Hey.
Now him,
the sage
just say
of the group.
yes,
You know,
yes, sir.
with age come wisdom.
Yes,
You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know.
Mr. Rodney Grimes.
Thank you.
yes. To the future.
The wisdom is all in the mirror. How about that? So that's what we do on the show that matters.
All right.
Wait a minute. What did you say?
The talk show that matters.
All right, now who's quarterbacking? Who we got quarterbacking over here? You gonna kick it back
What
over?
else?
Huh?
You gonna kick it back over to that dude?
Well, man, you know what? This is what happened.
That's why the play breaks down. You gotta run the play.
That's
The
why
way we practice.
Yeah, check this out. This is why you had a coach.
Yeah.
You fumble or something, you straighten it out.
Man,
Let me
man,
look.
he looking like Mitchell McConnell over here, freezing on the camera and stuff like.
They get ready to take
Nah, we get ready to hit you. We get ready to hit you with Mitch. Come on, get back in the game,
He
man.
had the game.
You know what I'm
He
saying?
had the game right.
He froze up like Mitch McConnell. You know what I'm saying?
He had the game right.
You know it don't get no better than this when we got the coach that's out there making it happen, Mr. Boo Jones.
Mr. Boojohn.
So you know how we do it. Each and every month, one of the hosts, ain't no someone. I say that to my wife a lot. She say, ain't none but us in here. It's doing something. The hosts, we take a month apiece to bring a wonderful and dynamite show to you, the viewers, for your education and for your uplifting and just for your listening pleasure, but for your soul food, right? So we bring that to you for that because we're trying to no, we're not trying. We're doing.
We're doing it.
We're
We're
doing.
trying.
We're
What the
doing.
heck?
We're enlightening and empowering our people so we can be unified in one common goal, and that's love for self and each other.
Amen.
So this month is the very distinguished. We say that all the time too on this show because everybody is distinguished on this panel. So this guy, the other is distinguished gentleman, Mr. Nate Jenkins, has a show for this month, and I'm gonna let him introduce you guys to what the show is.
All right, family. Once again, Man in the Mirror bringing you that public service announcement. As Boo Jones stated, we always try to enlighten and uplift. So this show today is entitled Single Mothers Keeping the Dream Alive. And the meaning behind it is, and the goal for today's show is real simple. We want to let the single mothers know out there in our listening audience and our viewers know that just because you're a mother, single at that, we know the job is hard.
Mhm.
We That's a job for superwoman, okay?
Give the flowers now.
But it don't mean that your dreams have to die. They can exist. You can be that rose that popped out the concrete,
Come on.
right, of life. Just because things didn't turn out the way you wanted to, lottie dottie, everybody, it ain't for you. But you get an opportunity to keep the train on the track.
That's right.
But the essence of being able to realize and keep your dreams alive is real simple. It's about love first for self and then priorities in your life. If you got your priorities in check and you handling business, you'll find a place for your dreams. So with that, we got two beautiful young ladies on the panel tonight, and we'll have another young lady call in, hopefully from out of town. In the studio with us, we have in this beautiful hat over here, Miss Nate Daniels, who is just a fashionista, curator of vintage wear. She has a business. I won't take too much from, but I'm gonna give a little roses. She has a business where she helps individuals with their styling using vintage clothing. So thrifting and things of that nature, so you can be that fashionista on the budget. That's her line of work, and she'll tell us how to get to her in time. And then to my right,
Oh, well, we got.
oh, we got to definitely clap for her.
Hold up, man.
Yes, sir. We got to get the beauty that blesses
Yeah,
down.
you gotta get her flowers and stuff.
Yeah. And then to my right, we have, woo! What was that? The voice over tight beat. What's that thing?
Perfect verse over type.
Perfect verse over tight beat. We give you the internationally known, not self-acclaimed. This is internationally known pop artist because she's not just hip hop, but she's popping everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
That artist from DC that can carry this thing all over the world, Miss Janae Music.
Yeah. You know what? I just realized.
Yeah, that's who that is. We flew in, man.
Come on.
We went down.
Get a story a little bit.
Yeah.
You know
All right,
what
so
I mean?
let's because believe the thing is I want to break the ice so there's no elephant in the room. Let's shoot that motherfucker right now.
We always get the elephant.
Let's get the elephant out the way. These my daughters. Yeah. I'm a proud dad.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Now, we gonna
uncle.
Period.
yeah. So these are mothers. These are mothers. These two ladies are mothers who are single moms doing a darn thing in their own personal lives, have careers, educated, the whole nine. But they got children to raise, and they at that teenage stage. But they are also living their dreams.
At the same time.
At the same time. So hopefully this show will encourage somebody out there to say, if they can do it, I can do it, because they just dropped some pearls and some jewels in my lap during this conversation. So I'm gonna start off hierarchically. I'm gonna go with Miss Nate Daniels. All right. So Miss Nate, we're gonna start off with a few questions. So basically all we want you to do is tell us who you are, what you do. Tell us a little bit about your life with your child and how you are managing that work life balance and going after your dream as the vintage fashionista and stylist for the stars.
I'm Nate Daniels. I created my business, Off the Rack Styles by Tay. I'll say just about a year ago. Um, Single mom. My daughter just turned 13 last week.
Woo!
So
She a
being that
Virgo
they
too.
no, she's a
Leah.
Leo.
Oh, she just
Right on the
missed.
cusp. One
She
more day
just
she would have been a
missed it.
Virgo like that.
Gosh.
But she
That's
she's
She's
a
a
all right.
Virgo.
Leo. I'm a Virgo.
Me too.
Right.
We ain't gonna hold it against you, but go ahead, keep going. Keep going.
People love Virgo women. I can't
They
see them
do.
being
Virgo
that.
men ain't
They
shit,
don't
but
like
Virgo women is good.
See,
But go ahead. So
that's
tell,
neither here nor there.
tell us about what you do for a living and how you manage that household and still do your business.
So currently I am a single mom, as I said. I started my business about a year ago, something that I kind of do on the side. It was kind of a hobby where it's like, oh, I like to thrift shop a lot. I like to be sustainable. So I'm always shopping for other people, my friends, my sisters, always picking out outfits and curating racks. So it was like, well, why not make it a business?
That's
You
right.
know, why not make it where some people, they don't like to shop. I love to shop. So it's like, send me to do it for
Virgo
you.
stuff.
I'll create the rack. I'll create your wardrobe. You give me a budget. I'll create a style box, whatever it may be. But I always shop sustainable. I don't do any malls or I don't mind consignments or boutiques or thrift shops. But I'm all about being on a budget and being sustainable because as a single mom, that's how I have to be. So it was about my experience and how I shop and how I can provide that to other people, whether it's man or woman. So that's where I decided to take it full throttle as a business and say, hey, if you're someone that likes how I dress, but you don't want to go out and find it, I can find it for you. Whether it's vintage, modern, but it's always secondhand, it's always consignment, it's always from resellers that I network and connect with. So that way I can provide you, like he said, looking like a fashionista, but on a budget. And who doesn't want to save money, especially when you're a parent? So I've been doing that. I also been in healthcare for 10 plus years. So I do that full time and then created my business on the side. And I'm here constantly still pushing. Now, you have social media. So now I'm in the process of learning how to create content and be more in front of the camera instead of just behind the scenes. So pushing that, not trying to be like a content creator, but just making sure your name is out there, is known, and things like that. Learning from him how to create a website and domains and all those things that you need that I was just not aware of. So just getting all those things in the work and trying to balance that and being a parent, it's challenging, but I get joy out of it because my daughter knows how hard I work. She knows, she tells me all the time, Mommy, you work so much. And for me, that's not, anything bad. That's a compliment because I want my daughter to know it's okay to grind, it's okay to hustle as long as your end goal is to get where you need to be. You don't have to settle. And like you said, you find a balance, whether it's leaning on your village, because honestly, that's what I do. If it wasn't for my village, I wouldn't be where I am. So whether that's leaning on mom, dad, sister, brother, come pick her up while I go do this, photo shoot or while I go do this live sale or whatever it may be. Um, I lean on my village, I lean on my faith, and continue to try to find that balance constantly.
Excellent. All right.
That
Thank you. Thank
was
you.
wonderful.
All
I
right.
want to ask you a quick question. So when you were saying that, did that just apply for women or do
No,
you
men as well.
men as well?
Absolutely. I know a lot of, so I don't do a lot of shopping in thrift stores as much as I used to, but I know a lot of resellers who also sell men's clothes. So Ralph Lauren, Tommy Hilfiger, all of it, head to toe, main name brands, all of it.
When you get a client, so it's basically, do you do it off the
Yeah, I definitely do like a get to know questionnaire where you can let me know what you're looking for, what your style is. If you're someone that don't know, it's like, okay, we can create a Pinterest of what you would like your wardrobe to look like as well. Because some people, they just started from scratch where they like, well, I know what I want to look like, but I never can find it. Or, I want you to style me so I can figure out what I do like. So it's a lot of consultation involved so you can get to know the person personally. And sometimes picking out outfits help a person find out who they are.
Yeah.
Because I really talk through how I look.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm a walking billboard all the time.
That's
and
right.
That's
That's
how I
right.
like to represent myself. I always say if I look good, I feel good. And that's on the inside and out.
I
So
like that.
I
That's
definitely try to
Mhm.
consult with everyone to get to know them on a better level.
Excellent. Excellent. All right. Now, to my right, we have Miss Janae Music.
That is I.
Now, so I'm not going to tell much of your story, but I know that you've been at this music thing for a minute.
Hmm.
I remember when you first started, you said to me, Dad, I ain't going to play no more basketball. Sing. After you found out you was expecting your son.
Uh-huh.
I ain't talked to you for a while because I had already bought all this West Virginia gear, and she was going to be the starting point guard and all of that. But I was proud that she kept going with her college, got her degree, had that little boy, and then came back to the singing and entertainment, and it kind of blew up. And now you're on the international stage. So tell us about your journey and what it takes for you. I mean, I know Nate said a lot about the village, but tell us what it takes for you on a day-to-day basis when you grind it. Because I know you just recently came back to DC.
Hmm.
So tell us about that whole experience and your priorities.
So again, I mean, like,
Uh-oh, we got a caller. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Let me get that. This is man. Oh, here we go. Man in the mirror. Who we have on the line?
This is Alicia Chanel. How are y'all?
Hey, we doing just great. So, Miss Alicia Chanel, give us thanks for calling in. We are introducing the last lady in the room, and then we're going to come right to you. So please stay with us, okay?
Got you.
All right. So this is Miss Chanel calling in from Texas.
nice.
So go ahead,
That's
Miss.
right.
Go ahead, Miss Janae Music.
Okay, so for me, I think that the biggest thing for me right now is just balance. I feel like I've realized that life is about balance. Like you can't have the good without the bad.
That's right.
You can't have the ups without the downs. So I've realized, I've at moments I felt like, sir, I'm overwhelmed, or there's so much to do, so little time. But what I realized is just even when it comes to my career, it comes to my life, everything is just about balance. It's about having a little give and take. So I think that right now I'm still figuring that out. And like she said, leaning on my village, I can, call my family and my friends to support me when needed. Now my child is getting a little older, so he's able to do things on his own. He doesn't really lean on me as much as he used to. But throughout the process, throughout my journey, I've always felt like, I had to choose. Like how do I be a mom, and then how do I still be myself? But honestly, I think a big part of it is finding a way to incorporate him. So in a lot of ways, I take him to the studio with me when I'm going to record. If kids are allowed at a venue, then he's coming with me to the event. When I have rehearsals, he's coming with me to rehearsal. Like I try to bring him along as much as possible because he knows that I'm busy, and he knows that I'm doing things, but he knows that I'm still present and I'm still very much here. Especially, being a single mom and not having a present father figure for him. So I think that again it's just creating that balance, but also I communicate with him a lot. So I tell him just about everything that's happening. Like, hey, like he knows like this weekend I have a show coming up in Miami. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to Miami. So we gotta organize it, we gotta get this together. And so he tries to be as helpful as he can be now that he's older and he has understanding that like, okay, mom needs me to lighten the load a bit. But I think the biggest thing is just also I just read this sign right here. When you feel like quitting, think about why you started. And for me, it's always a remember your why. Because I know, like, at the end of the day, like, I live for my kid now. Like, at first, it used to be, I live for me, and I was a child then, so it was always like the selfish part of me. But then it's like, as a child, having a child, and it's like now I live for somebody else, and I do all this for somebody else. And so me wanting to be successful isn't even really about me. Because honestly, I could be content with where I am right now. I could be content with what I have, everything that I've accomplished, everything that I've done. But I know that I want better for him. I want more for him, and I want him to see great things. And one time I asked him, we played a little relationship card game, and it asked, "Tell me something that you're proud of me about." And he was just like, and he told me, he said, "You deciding to get up and move to Atlanta made me really proud because you following your dreams." And I think that that sets a tone for me where I'm like, okay, I have to go all the way through with it, because not only does he know what I'm doing, he's watching, because he's going to learn I need to follow my dreams as well. So it's not just for me, not just the success, but also the journey itself is for him too.
Excellent. All right. Thank you.
That was
All
great.
right. Now on the phone we have Miss Alicia Chanel, who
Hello.
is a brand new to the scene comedian. She's a writer, but now she's doing a lot of stand up, mostly in the San Antonio, Texas area.
Nice.
Uh, but she's been on some major shows that other folks have not been able to get on as the opening act and the
Favor.
like.
That's called
So
favor.
she gets some haters, in her industry, but she is a single mom of a dynamite young man. So, Miss Chanel, won't you tell us a little bit about you and how you manage your up and coming stardom and your work life and all that good stuff?
Thank you. I've always been very creative artistically. There'd be like art competitions, and I would always win them or be entered in them to win. So now I just really feel like expressing that creativity, whether it's like movie script writing, making like a kid's book, being the author and the illustrator. And I wanted to write movies, but it was a little too touching to like lifetime Tyler Perry drama for me, with those wounds still kind of healing. So I was like, well, let me try comedy, stand up comedy, and see what it's like, because I never wanted to have the pressure. But now that I'm in it and been doing it, I've been having some success, and people around me noticed that success. Like one of the great things was I was able to open for Jay Farrow at LOL, so like that was amazing. But with having a kid, I mean, I agree with Janae. You have to have a balanced lifestyle, like the food you put in your body, exercise. You got to have healthy relationships with the people around you. You have to bond with your child, talk to each other. Just take, don't have any TV on or anything. Just talk to each other, walk around. I've taken my son to come with me as I was courting a comedy sketch. And when it was finally produced and uploaded, he was like, hey, like, I remember you were there, and then watched it, and like him seeing like the smile that grew on his face, that like lit up that he saw the project that was completed was like wonderful. So you do have to sacrifice and know what's important to you. And you got to set some goals. You got to have short term goals and long term goals. And hopefully you'll get there. You just got to set your mind to it.
Yeah.
And it's not easy.
Not easy. Well, thank you so very much. Let's give her a hand right there. Now, Miss Chanel, you're not in the room, so I'm gonna lead in some questions since you're not in the room. Tell us how old your son is.
He is, he'll be 6 years next month.
Oh, and let me tell you something. You talking about bright? Yeah, he's beyond 6.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. So I know that you've told me in times like I've talked to you like Lenny's helping me with the script or he's holding the camera. So you really got him active, right? Into your production and what you're doing. How do you think that translates to how he lives? Like how he goes to school and how he talks to other people and things of that nature. How do you think that communication between you and your son translates outward?
To his character.
Mhm.
I just feel like it's a great bonding time. I don't want to say it's like an exercise, but it's just a great bonding exercise. And I tell him to do whatever he wants to do, whatever interests him, let me know. If he wants to play hockey, soccer, basketball, let me know. I'm like, your mommy is a creative. She's artistic and makes videos. She's a writer. I'm a comedian. So this is what I like to do that makes me happy. And so whatever you want to do it. Don't be afraid to tell me if there's something you would like to explore. So I think he just sees that and is just receptive to other things that are out there as opposed to, a firefighter, a cook. Like, I want you to be great. Like, don't just settle. Don't just humble yourself.
Excellent.
Go for what you want to try out. Like, don't be afraid to try it. Yeah.
All right, ladies, y'all want to chime in on how does that same question there goes towards, you know, uh, you guys? I know Janae, you talked a little bit about having your son on set with you. How old is your son?
He is 13.
Woo.
Yes.
Oh,
He is 13. We just hit that teenage stage, so we are, teetering the line of I care, but I don't care.
yeah.
And I think, like I said earlier, I think that it definitely encourages him to, chase after your goals and your dreams. But it's funny because I think that now, he's gotten to the space where it's like the challenges there are, seeing my mom on a big stage, and then all of my friends are seeing my mom on a big stage. And so it's like, everybody's like, my mom is so cool, and it's like now I got to live up to the expectation of being cool too.
Yeah.
So that kind of plays a role. But in terms of our relationship building, like I think him seeing me there, or him seeing me in the act of, it's exciting for him. But I think he gets a little overwhelmed sometimes because he's like, this is, you got a lot going on, and I just want to chill. Like, it's like, we gotta go to the studio. I don't want to go to the studio.
Again,
Even coming here, he like, I don't want to go, and I'm like, boy, you could be. He like, I'll just stay at home. Like he now. I think that we've been doing it together for so long. He like, you got it. I've already seen it. Good. But also I think that encourages him. I'm trying to get him to be more confident. Because he can sing, he can rap.
Yes, he can.
Like he's actually good,
Very good.
and he's just shy about it. And it's really I think it's the teenage phase. It's like the judgmental thing. Like I don't want people to judge me and think I suck, but it's like you don't suck. But he doesn't really understand that just yet.
He don't see it in himself yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so just giving it time, but also I think for me it's like I want to bring it out. Like it's like I see it. I can see it. So I'm like, come on, and it's hard for him to be like, he's like, Mom, you're doing too much. Like I know that's your dream. I'm good. So we're in that balance. It's creating that balance of like, seeing his greatness, wanting to pour into it, but at the same time giving him the leeway to regulate his own world.
That's a good point because like a lot of times, especially I was a teenage boy one time, so when at that age right there, that's a transition age,
Right.
Y'all know that. So you saying, look, I ain't a youngin' no more,
Yeah.
but I ain't a big boy yet.
Uh-huh.
So it's a torn age for real. Like if you go to school back when in my days, you was in 7th grade, maybe the 8th,
Mm-hmm.
and you wasn't a senior, but you was in junior high.
Right.
Because it was 7th, 8th, and 9th then.
Okay.
So you wasn't even in high school, and you was on the bottom of the totem pole at the junior high school. But you still wanted to be cool. You still wanted to be accepted. I mean, that's a lot of stuff to deal with at that age. But the point you made is you want to let him be himself, but you want to instill some confidence, right? And a lot of times we think that being confident means being arrogant. It's not the same.
It's not.
Michael Jordan would never say he's second best. He would never say, but he worked hard.
Yeah.
Kobe had the same mindset.
Yeah.
LeBron got the same mindset.
Look at Steph Curry. He just said he was the best point guard, even over Magic.
Yeah. And it's not arrogance when you work hard.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but to get the kids to understand that look, you put in maximum effort, you can make a statement that you can be confident.
So Miss Nate, tell us about your daughter. How old is your daughter?
13 as well. We put them in the chokehold. We had them 3 months apart.
Yes.
So we made them grandparents back to back.
Immediately.
Yes, you did.
One born in May, one born in August.
Now, these are your older grandchildren?
Yes.
Older one.
So tell us about your relationship with a 13-year-old female and what school looks like and all that and the challenges you have as a single mom.
So honestly, I know it sounds crazy because everyone's like, oh my gosh, teenage. But for me, it's been fun.
Right.
Really seeing her evolve into her own person, her own personality. Like the whole bringing her with me, she does not like to shop. She is the complete opposite of me. And I have to, that's what I'm learning. Like you always think, oh, I'm going to have a daughter. She's going to be my mini me. She's going to be my twin. She's going to be these things. And it's like, she's her own person. Mm-hmm. So when it comes to our style, our personalities, they're still very different. And so I'm learning to embrace that she's not going to want to shop like me and be in the store for hours. And that's okay. But then I also had to be like, okay, so what is it that you do like to do? Like we kept her in hip hop dance for years. And it was just like, okay, we've been doing this for a long time, but it's not competition. You're not trying to go to Duke Ellington. It's just for fun. So what are you passionate about? Let's figure that out and tap into that. So she actually came to me last year, what was it, 7th grade, even after struggling academically for the first time ever. She was like, but I do want to try violin. And I was like, where is this coming from? Orchestra, out of all things, none of us have ever picked up an instrument. So I was just like, are you sure? Because if you do, we can give up dance for violin if you want to try it. And honestly, she really, really took the time to invest in going to practice every day. Whereas most kids, because they have band and then you have orchestra, you go like every other, once or twice a week. She was going every day. And so when it came time for her first recital, I was just like, you haven't practiced at home. You haven't showed me anything. Like, are you taking this serious? She was like, I'm good. And like you said, I tell her all the time, there's a difference between being cocky and there's a difference between being confident.
Yeah.
You know, so she shut me up.
Put in the work.
She did. She shut me up. When I went, I was astonished. I was like, oh, she actually is pretty darn good. And I was recording and sending the video to everybody, like, look at this. Because I had never seen her play. She had been in it for months. So it's just one of those things where, like you said, you got to trust in them to make their own decisions, grow as an individual, and understand, like, I can't project my wants and my desires onto my child when she's her own person and she's going to go through her own trial and errors, and the things she may like now, she may not like later. Because I definitely went through that phase. One minute I wanted to be a model, one minute I wanted to be an actress.
Yes, you did.
And now I'm a stylist. So we're forever transitioning, forever changing. I think, like, as a parent, I'm just learning that more and more as she continues to grow in front of me. Is just embracing who she is and her personality. And I still see a lot of me in there because it's those small things like, I can't believe she do that. Crazy. So now it's driving me crazy. But overall, it's just letting her build her own confidence, create her own lane, and encourage her along the way.
So, Mr. Sage, I know you're a parent. We all are. Different age now because they doing stuff totally different than what we used to do. When we was young, we couldn't wait to go outside. Now these jokers don't know what outside is. Outside is on the phone, social media, tablet, whatever. You got some questions for the young lady? We got a stylist, a a entertainer, and then we got another entertainer on the phone. We got comedy, we got music, and we got fashion.
So basically, I'm sitting here, I'm listening to single women speak about fulfilling their life goals, and so that's something that's really speaks for itself about you. We have a lot of women just have babies, and then that's all they're doing is having babies. They forget about living.
Yeah.
And so I hear 3 women who have children and still have the will and the desire to fulfill your life's goals. But that has to be challenging.
For sure.
So what do you do when mama personality has to take over and put everything else aside? Does that become complicated for you being single?
Not for me, it doesn't. Only because I made the conscious decision from the very beginning that no matter what I need to do for me, my child comes 1st.
Mm-hmm.
So I've always said, when it comes to my goals and my dreams, they may be deferred or paused, but they're never something I can't go after. Prime example, I haven't finished college yet. But I've always said to myself, it's not that I'm not going back. I don't care if me and my daughter walk across that stage together hand in hand. The point is, eventually, that's something that I still want to do for myself. And although I may have to put it on pause because right now I'm focusing on other things as well as her, that doesn't mean that I can't accomplish it or can't do it. I feel like as long as I'm still living and breathing, then I still have the opportunity to make the change and the effort to accomplish any goal. But my daughter always comes first. So if that means putting something on pause, it's just on pause. It's not
and I'm sure with
Yeah.
I'm sure with each one of y'all in y'all profession. So you being a stylist, okay. So we have the young lady that's on the phone.
She's in the comedy.
You're in the comedy. So now you talk about different environments.
Mm-hmm.
So we talk about different energy being projected. The young lady that's on the phone, Chanel, and you being a comedian, now you're in a different arena. So how does that affect you when mom has to kick in?
I'm always going to be a mom first and foremost. Um, that's not going to ever go away. But in the same respect, I'm not going to let my child interfere with the passion and the dreams that I want to achieve. And I know that the time that I step away to achieve my goals, I hope that he appreciates and sees that the time that I was not with him, I was achieving my goals. I wasn't out here being an escort or a prostitute or a stripper. I'm doing it for the better good for us.
Or that. Mom is not the thought.
Now, strippers can be a profession. Not for everybody.
But okay, so what you're saying is, let me paraphrase, if I may. Uh, as all the ladies have said, child first, right? But as we're going through these incidents of building and creating and doing those dreams, hold on, let me finish. Yeah. As we get through doing those dreams, uh, our priorities don't change because the initial child first is always child first, right? So go ahead, Janae.
I want to hear ask Rodney's question because everybody gets shot for that question.
Yeah, that's
To be honest, I'll say that my answer is a little different than theirs. So for me, it's always been child first because I've been a single mom in every sense of the word, and so I've always had my son. I've never had consistent help from his father, and so for me, it's always been him first. Everything I do is so that I can be successful, to contribute to him, all of that. I went to school full time while working full time while having my son full time. And I sacrificed a lot. I didn't live a lot initially when I had him. I felt like I went to school all day Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then I worked all day Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. So in terms of living a life, going to the clubs or having fun or going on trips and things of that nature, I didn't partake in that at all when I first, when I had him for the first couple of years. So once I graduated college, and I started, working in jobs that actually started paying a little more, I realized, like, that's when I started doing music, and I was like, okay, I really want to get into this. And so then there comes the sacrifice again, where it's like, do I get to live and pursue music and be a mom and work, so there's that balance. So it's like I always tell people all the time, like, if you had a plate of food and you put something more on your plate, something's gonna fall off. So you have the choice to either take it all,
like that,
or you can make a mess.
Right.
And so for me, I decided not to make a mess. We're just gonna take something off, and we just have to decide which ones are gonna weigh the most. And of course, being a mom always stays on my plate. That's I don't have a choice because I don't have that person to move it off.
I like that. I'm gonna steal that one from you.
That's okay. I'm a life coach by trade, so it's okay. I share that with a lot of people.
Right there, that was powerful when you're talking about. Here, a lot of people have a tendency when they go and you're fixing your plate, you have a tendency to put too much on there,
and you're making a mess.
And you make a mess, and then you find yourself wasting.
Yes.
The food.
You're wasting, or you being gluttonous and you're putting on too much on yourself, and now you're fat and unhealthy.
Yeah.
Same thing with stress. All that, it's the same thing. So yeah.
So y'all know I love analogies and metaphors. So you guys, that's a great.
Well, let me ask you a question, because
let me finish answering it, because one thing I don't feel like I didn't say, I do feel like being a mom is first, but what I realize now this day and age is being a person is first.
Come on.
Because if I'm not my healthiest self, I can't be a good mom anyway. And my family knows I've struggled, with depression. I've gotten depressed at times, and I've struggled with my mental health and like balancing. And this is why I say finding balance now. Because I always been a mom, and I never got to live, and I never got to do everything, and I was always on the straight and narrow, trying. And then when something in my life fell apart, I fell apart. And I wasn't able to be my best self or able to be a good mom.
Right.
And I don't want to be that. So there is that balance. But for me, it's like my son is old enough now where I can communicate to him and say, hey, listen, I need a me day, or I gotta go do this for me. Like I'm not, or if I'm feeling low, I can communicate that to him and he understands. And it also puts in perspective where he's able to understand that mental health is real. There, if you're ever feeling some type of way, communicate it to me so I can support you too. And so in those moments he does that. But again, it's being a person first, because if I'm not able to be a person and be alive, I can't be a mom anyway.
I love the fact that each one of y'all have that. Hey, that's powerful. The way you shared it. If I just want to acknowledge that.
Thank you.
I heard all three of y'all say the exact same thing, but a little different, which I think that is real profound for the watchers and the listeners to know for single moms. I did not hear one of y'all talk about giving up your dreams, nor neglecting your child. And you have a strategy. And the thing that you said about the plate, it just hit me personally.
Good.
Seriously, because it's a lot of us. We have a tendency to go up there, and what is it? They say you look and you trying to
your eyes bigger than you.
Yeah, huh? Come on, that's what you just. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. And it's like that in life.
For the young viewers, that's an old ancient saying.
Your eyes bigger than your stomach.
I want to bring it back to a point. Now, each one of you guys has said something about the mechanisms you use to help you.
Yeah.
You talked about your mental health situation, and you all talked about a village, and Miss Chanel talked about the importance of being mom 1st. So I want to go around, starting on the phone with Miss Chanel, then back to you, then back to Nate, to answer the question that Rodney put forth on, uh, or actually give us an example of something you went through or are going through now that you had to make some decisions, right? So Chanel, can you give us an example that you may be going through as a mom? I know you got a younger son, but are you has it been something that you've gone through or going through now that maybe you had to lean on your village? How did you do that?
Lean on my feelings.
On your village, on your help.
On my village.
Yeah.
Oh, the family with work. When I used to work in the restaurant industry, I couldn't. The other side of the family was more than willing to help out, to make extra money. Like I had a little side hustle. I was cocktailing, so my mom would watch him when I would go do that. So it's good. It definitely takes a village to raise a family, and I'm glad that I have a great support system, because without them, man, I would definitely not be here.
Excellent, excellent. All right, Janae, have you give us an example of when you leaned in?
Oh, for sure. So recently, or last year, I decided. Well, I was in talks of where I need to be in order to grow musically. And I decided that Atlanta was the place. Initially, I went to Atlanta with my son, and it just wasn't the best environment for him. But I knew that it was a great environment for me. And unfortunately, that just meant that both of us couldn't flourish in the same place. So, my village stepped up. My sister expressed that she would take him on for me full time, because she felt like, I really support you and I really want you to win. It's really important for you to do that. And I want what's best for you. And with the help of my village and my family, everybody kind of, stated, we'll contribute in whatever way we can. And so my sister actually kept my son for me for a while I was in Atlanta. I lived out there for a while, and while I was there, it was a struggle, because you know for the past 12 years at the time, we've only known each other. Like, we've always been up under each other. And so I think us separating, that was really, really tough, because I didn't know life without him. And people always say, like, oh, how's your kid gonna be without you? How am I gonna be without my kid? Because for me, I had him as a kid. So that's the only life I really know, because you don't really know life when you're a kid. So as an adult, as you grow, you start to learn life. And so I learned life with him. So we grew up together. So it's very much like,
you should say that.
Yeah, it's very much like, me and my sisters being tight, and then me separating, and I'm not being able to see them for a while. It's tough. So I went through that space where she kept him for me, and I appreciate her so much for that, because it's one thing to have people who say they support you, it's another to have somebody show up and actually do.
So let's give your sister a shout out. Tell us who she is.
Shout out to Riri, Sky's the Limit RJD on Instagram. She is.
She know all this
She's
stuff too.
no, for sure. She's. I would say she is one of my biggest fans and supporters. Like, I don't. Anytime anything comes up, she's always like pushing me. She meets people, and people are talking, and she's like, "Oh, you need to meet my sister." She is a huge support. So yeah, I had to lean in, and it was hard for me. And then I think the difference is, for me, I've been a mom my whole life, and for her, she's never been a mom. So in that space, it became a thing of like, okay, look, I'm trying something new. This is difficult for me. I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm having a hard time. So then I had to decide, I realized she's struggling. She's not happy with the situation. And so for me, it's, I could never leave my child to be in a negative space. So I then decided, okay, I need to do what's best for him. And, I was trying to figure out a way to maneuver to be like, okay, no, I can figure out a way to get him to Atlanta, but I knew Atlanta was not the environment for him. So the decision was to come back home so I can be a mom, and I'll do all that I need to do. And if I need to go back and forth between here and Atlanta, that's what I would do. But I wanted to make sure that I'm still being, like she said, being a mom is first, and it's still precedent. But in that, there's still that balance of I still got to be me too.
Give her an opportunity.
Yeah, I want to make a statement. All you guys, one thing I hear zooming from all of you guys is confidence. And that's something that's needed. Yeah. Because confidence is basically faith. It's hope. Yeah. It's hope. It's saying, well, even though it don't look like it's working out at this point in time, I'm sure it's gonna do.
For sure.
Regardless of what it looks like now. And it's part of the journey. That's
tell us about your journey. I know you're a single mom, but you got other folks, and tell us about how you manage it. And
honestly, I manage it most of the time by just trying to be present. And when it comes to small things that I'm not able to, I definitely lean on my village. Like, I know for a fact, if my daughter's all the way out in La Plata and I'm like, hey, Dad, can her dad drop you off to you? Because you closer and I can't get there in time, or I might be stuck here or there, then, he does. Or prime example, I just bought a home about 2 years ago. But I made a point when I decided to purchase my own home to still purchase it closer to where I still had my village. Because my whole thing was, I cannot do it by myself. I never have. I don't want to. And so on days when my daughter's in aftercare and I'm stuck in traffic in 495, I immediately will hit my sister or my brother-in-law and say, hey, because I know they 5-10 minutes away and they closer. Can you get her and I'll come get her from your house? And it's a definite yes. Or when I have rheumatoid arthritis and I woke up one day and I couldn't walk. Both of my sisters from Bowie and Laurel pulled right on up to my house. One took my daughter to school, one took me to the emergency room. Like, it's just something
Can I get a shout out for those two?
Yeah. What's their name?
My sister Tiana. I mean, I got a plethora of sisters, but all of them show up.
We know that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Thanks to yours truly.
I mean, yeah. What can I say?
I will say is, at the end of the day, growing up, my father made a point that stuck with me, and that's just, at the end of the day, your sisters are your best friends. Your sisters are your family. Friends come and go, but your sisters will always be here. And that's something that we still ride or die to this day.
We get flowers to this guy right
here. Oh, they think he's got some flowers?
Yeah.
It's very rare.
I'm gonna tell you, like, even on the show, so we always address the elephant in the room. It's brotherhood with us three right here, because all of us like to talk. So and sometimes we do cut each other off, but we know this. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it is basically who we are.
Yeah.
And then but it all works out in harmony. You know what I'm saying? It's organic. So when we do the man in the mirror, it's not scripted. We don't know what we're gonna say. We don't even know the questions. We don't got no paper of the questions. And we just go with our spirit.
What it is also knowing your position.
Right.
So I already know we sit here, and the same thing with y'all as mothers. but just to piggyback off what you said, we are confident in ourselves, but we also know that each one of us has some expertise in areas that they can talk and make sense.
Yeah.
When it comes to mental health and things of that nature, both of these gentlemen have that experience, and and then all three of us, as far as in the music business and that nature,
Yeah, and management.
Management, we all have done that.
Yeah.
But the
And
other
throwing
thing,
events.
and being fathers.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but I want to get back to the ladies now. The thing that I'm really, really impressed most about, and that is that y'all have also talked about your struggles, and you managed to be able to manipulate them to still work within your careers and being mothers.
Yeah.
We have a lot of single moms out there who do not know how to navigate like that. So, if I may start with you 1st, how do you be able to navigate? Now, you be on the ship. Sometimes you don't have nobody to help you row the boat,
For sure.
or to guide it.
Yeah.
How do you manage that when it really just falls in your lap as a single mom?
So I would say, to be honest, I lean out on my own understanding. I think it has a lot to do with putting faith in God and knowing that I always say He'll never put more on me than I can bear.
I'm getting ready.
And you may not always see what it is He wants you to, learn or grow through, but the whole point of it is to learn and grow. So it's like, no matter the storm, no matter the weather, I think it's good to pray and understand that you may not know what's to come, but it's not the end. And that's for me my main thing. Like, just constantly praying. And I always be like, wow, why me? Why me? And it's just like, why not? If God sees fit and He knows it's something you can handle, even though you feel like you can't, then you need to lean on that faith. You need to lean on that strength of Him to get you through. So
Let's ask the same. Let's bring the young lady in on the phone. So ask the same question to Chanel, Rodney.
Chanel, so when, as far as with you, how do you manage individually
when things hit the fan?
And you got to make the choice, right? Basically.
Yeah.
I was. Ooh. So I had a fiance, and he passed away recently, and so it's been very tough. So just kind of having some peace, some time to meditate and pray, and just realizing that I need to be appreciative for what I have. I have my son, I have my life, I have a roof over my head. Just being appreciative for what you have, because it all can be taken away from you, and just to appreciate every day, because tomorrow isn't promised. So definitely live in the moment and live it to the fullest.
We're so sorry for your loss. Don't you want to
Yeah,
come on.
look at that's so powerful, right? Because I already know she's gonna chime on that same note. I already
So go ahead, Janae.
because she's a product of Nate Jenkins.
Go ahead, Janae.
Definitely, for me, like you said, the confidence, right? So it's, definitely leaning on God and, praying about it, meditating. Because I've realized that, like, I've dealt with depression, but also anxiety. So it's like sometimes I get like this pounding in my chest, and it's like I got to work on my breathing and keep calm. But when it comes to like me making decisions, I think the main thing for me really is I write stuff down. A lot of
y'all
people.
Hear that? It's coping skills y'all getting here. It's coping skills.
I write stuff down. Whenever I know that there are things that I have to tackle or things I have to do, I write it down. Even if I don't have pen and paper, you got notes in your phone. And so I try to check things off. I put reminders in my phone to make sure that I get something done. Because I know, like, again, that balance. Like, I might get overwhelmed, but it's like, all right, I can get it done though. I just have to space it out. I got to sort it out. So but then it's also that sacrifice. Like, I got to decide what's important right now, what's immediate, what do I need to take care of right now. And when I identify that, then it's like, okay, one thing at a time. I've learned to stop trying to do everything all at once. So if I'm in the boat and I gotta row it, I can't row it with both hands, because both of them gonna get tired at the same time. So we're gonna take a break on the right, we're gonna row with the left.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna take a break on the left, we're gonna row with the right. So it's just that balance of finding a way to what matters the most at the moment. How can I make it make sense for the long run? So
I mean, with that analogy that you just said, right? We got to look at the mechanics of it too. You
Mhm.
roll with one hand,
you're gonna turn
you gonna
that, and
turn.
that's fine. But as long as we going forward, though, as long as we
No,
going forward.
but I'm just joking.
No, you're right. Because I thought about it when I said
Yeah,
it. But you're absolutely right.
But the thing about coping skills, because that's basically what this
Mhm.
is about, right? And me and Nate know that's right down our alley.
Yeah.
All
Especially
day.
mental health and substance abuse.
Mhm.
That you got to have positive, effective coping skills.
Yes.
Because if you don't have them, I'm just saying, if you don't have them, then you're gonna just be spinning your wheels.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta have them effective, and they're yours. They're individualized.
And you can try different ones that you get from other people.
Yeah.
All try.
But they still yours.
Yeah.
Once you adapted them, they're yours.
Yep,
I don't care how you learn them.
Yeah.
They're yours.
So what about the young ladies out there that's struggling, and they struggling on a point that don't have the confidence that you three ladies have?
Right.
What speak on that? What would you tell them? Let's give them something that you can share with them.
Right. Let's go around the table.
Yeah. So
if they don't have confidence, I would say that means they have to tap into learning who they are so they can become and stand firm in it to then project that and build that and instill that into their child. So just like she said, person comes first because you have to know who you are in order for your child to become. So therefore, I think if that's the case, I would say journaling may help. Just being assertive and manifesting. I think it's very important. I always say words are very powerful. Say what you mean what you say. So if it's something that you feel you may be lacking in, I've seen this video. They say, create pros and cons. Like you have a line down the middle and you think about a time when you were happy, what was happening in your life then, and write what's going on right now and correlate what is missing so you can start incorporating that again back into your life, pour into yourself. So you have to kind of evaluate and assess so you can get to the root of where you're trying to go and where you've been and what you can implement to become better.
So for me, I feel like I'm twofold. I'm a mantra person. Like the same thing with the breathing and the anxiety. I will repeat something to myself over. You got this. You got this. You got this. You got this. You know what I mean? Even that means looking in the mirror, repeating mantras, telling me, "You look good today. You look good today. Look, you look good. Take a picture. You look good today." Creating that space to build myself up. But also, I'm also a person that feels like you should identify things that you think you would be good at or something that you think you like you said, and try it. But I'm not just to try it once, but try it 3 times. I live by the rule of 3 because I feel like that's the odd number. If I try it once and I don't like it, then I'm gonna try it again because I might like it the second time. Now, if I do like it the second time, then I need to do it a third time because then it's gonna split the decision. If I like it the third time, then I'm gonna keep doing it. If I don't like it, then I really don't like it. It was a one-off that I liked at that time. So 2 out of 3 is the thing for me. So try it. If you want to sing, try to get up there and sing. Go to karaoke. Go 3 times. You got 3 times to go to karaoke. If you got 2 positive reviews, go back. Now you should start singing. That's how I feel about everything.
My birthday is this Sunday. It's on the 3rd. So
shameless plug. Here we go.
That's a positive number you got there.
Okay.
So on the phone, Miss Chanel, if you had some advice to some ladies out here to build confidence, what would be your advice to them?
I would look myself in the mirror like I'm sexy, I'm smart, I'm beautiful, period. I'm creative. Whatever 5 things that best describe you. I would go shopping. I would buy a sexy pair of underwear, lingerie. That helps build my confidence.
I know that's right.
I would do my hair. I would put on some nice, powerful, strong clothes, something that makes me feel powerful, confident, sexy, and then just walk around with that aura, that energy the rest of the day. And forevermore beyond that.
I like that.
All right.
Now, I don't know about, Nate's a dad. I'm a dad, so I understand this, but these women is good catches here. I mean,
I was doing to reach over and shake Mr. Nate's hand because I wanted to tell him, yo,
hey, great job.
You doing a great job. Hey, we got some
comments. We got some folks. Tell us what we got, ladies.
shout out Janae Music. She's been grinding for a minute. I've been shots by Precious and a few more.
Nice.
Shout out for a talk show for these great guests. Janae, I'm feeling your song.
All right now.
Also, I will be featured on the legendary producer Irv Gotti's new show,
Wow.
Tell. Made it in America documentary. So will be dropping at 12 a.m.
Ooh,
So that's
All
nice.
right, all
Thank
right,
you. I
all
appreciate it.
right.
Congrats. No, congrats on that. We gotta check it
I
out.
just decided something just this moment right now. So I'm gonna tell you right now. Um, I want you to be on Uncle Boo's documentary. I'm doing the documentary.
Nice.
I was
Okay.
telling Nate about it. He gonna be on. He gonna be on it.
Of
Him
course
and her.
he is. He
Yeah,
can't not be.
but I want you to drop something on it to be in the backdrop on one of the scenes.
Okay.
Yeah, I want you to drop something, and we'll talk about. We'll talk, but you definitely will be on it.
Okay.
All right, I want to jump out there, right?
Go ahead, jump on.
I'm gonna jump out there. So, I heard, well, I was told by my grandparents when I was an early dad. I thought I was doing something, right? Because I became a single dad when my children were early in their ages, and I was told you ain't gonna know what kind of parent you are until you see your children become parents.
Mm.
Yeah.
And the type of parent that they are is a direct reflection of the type of parent that you've been.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Right?
That's great.
So I'm sitting here a little swole up, right? With these two young ladies in front of me, and I'm sure, Miss Chanel, your parents are probably sitting there swollen up as well because all three of you ladies have not only gone after your personal dreams and still going after them, but you haven't lost what's most important.
Mm-hmm.
Because once you become a parent, right, you are a shepherd of a gift from God.
Mm-hmm.
Steward.
Nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You a steward,
Yeah.
a shepherd
Yeah.
of that gift from God. What you do in the rest of your life will be reflected in that little human being.
For sure.
Right? And what I hear from each one of you ladies is that that's going to be a positive reference for that human being. You two have 13-year-olds. Miss Chanel, you got a 6-year-old. I can clearly state that I've met all the kids. And
They know.
I can say honestly, how here's the thing. Whenever you see a kid acting up,
Mm-hmm.
the first comment that come to your mind, where they parents?
Where their parents?
Yeah.
Who baby is this?
Right.
Where they mother for? Who they
It's a
parents?
reflection. That's
Right? Not stop the baby,
Yeah.
spank the baby, put them in the car. Who they parents?
Yeah, it reflects the parent.
Because your parents
Yeah.
are the first. I don't care about social media. I don't care about peer pressure. None of that. Your parents are the initial ingredients
Yeah.
to your DNA,
That's right.
physically, spiritually, mentally.
Mm-hmm.
So when I look at y'all kids, I don't have to say who their parents. I might want to say who their parents so I can congratulate them
Yeah.
on such a great job thus far. So kudos to all three of you ladies.
Well, thank you. And I appreciate that. And I would love to add that I will say that you are a phenomenal dad.
Oh, thank you.
I think that, they give you props on being distinguished and all of that, and that's cool. I don't really care about none of that because for me it's like I've seen you fail in other things time and time again, but one thing you never failed at is being a parent. I know for me, I proudly tell people like I got a dad. You know what I mean? Like people say all the time when I shake their hand, they're like, "Oh, you got a firm grip," and I'm like, "Cause I got a dad." Like I let it be known because I'm super proud. Because I feel like there's so many people who don't have fathers, and even people who do have fathers who aren't as present as you are. Like there are fathers who, of course, they provide and they show up and they go to games and this, but you were always a day in and day out parent for me, and it honestly has molded me in so many ways where I'm just so grateful. I tell people, I talk about him on social media all the time. Everybody be like, "Dad, your dad really that man?" Like, and I'm like, and he is, and I am so proud and so grateful to have had you because I really, like you said, I don't know if I would know how to be a parent without you because you really have shown up for me day in and day out, even to this day. I mean, if I need something, I already know I'm gonna call who I need to call. There's other people I can call. That's cool. But if I'm in dire need or it's anything, or even if it's small, it don't matter what it is. I call my dad. I break down the side of the road, and he called AAA for me. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't matter. It's this man shows up for me day in and out, and not just for me, for all of our siblings. And it's crazy because we have so many, and all of them that we have, they're not everybody's not even biologically his, but he like these my kids though, and he takes care of everybody to the same extent with the same love, the same energy, and I am just beyond grateful. Like when people tell me they make excuses about fatherhood, I'm like, it's nothing you can tell me because I'm telling you, I done seen the goat. And I've seen him. I done seen him do the impossible.
And Janae, I had to say this. Nate is my inspiration on fatherhood because I wasn't early on the father I should have been because of other reasons. But over the last 21 plus years, I look at the blueprint.
Yeah.
And he been my blueprint. And me and him talk, that's my brother. We talk about deep situations.
Yeah.
I lost a child. My daughter was
so
23
sorry.
years old and she's gone.
Wow.
And I got one left. And she just had a baby and be soon her baby will be
Yeah.
1 year old, right? And I strive for what you just did for him. I strive for that with me and my daughter Asia.
You'll get there.
And I got a grandson that ain't biologically mine, but I say my grandson.
For sure.
And I love him just equally as I love my granddaughter.
Yeah.
And I strive for that same. See, because that's what I want to leave. When I leave this planet, I want to leave that type of inspiration and that type of admiration.
Yeah. And you'll get there. I'll say this. One thing that you brought for me was accountability. Because like I said, I've seen him fail before. And even in parenting, he's dropped the ball a couple times or whatever may have you. But one thing he does to this day is come back and say, "Hey, I noticed how this affected you and that it was bad, and I apologize for that and I want to fix it or I want to heal it. I want to make up for it." We've had those conversations and him coming to me, I haven't even had to say like, it's I don't say anything, you know what I mean? I think that him growing as a person, him recognizing, like him seeing me grow. Again, like you said, you don't know how you parent, how you are as a parent till you see your children parent. I think him seeing me and him like, oh, okay, I see how that affected you, and him being able to acknowledge that and address that, and it makes me a better parent too, because then I'm able to say, oh, this is trauma, or this is something I felt before, and I'm creating that space. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm really grateful for you. Like,
thank you, baby.
Honestly, I will say I did a podcast like a year ago, and the girl kept asking me questions about him because she's like, I see you tweet about your dad all the time, and so let me read your tweets. Like she's like, you said your dad this, your dad that, and I'm like, yeah, I'll constantly talk about my dad because I'm grateful. Like I don't even know. I don't know. Like it's just it's an exuberating feeling that I feel for my dad.
Let me tell you this. I know all y'all. I know y'all journey.
Mm-hmm.
They tell how long we've been talking.
Oh man.
I know all y'all journey. Now I might have to not put the face with it all the time, but I said, which one is this?
Yeah, yeah.
Which one? Because I know the story about your lives because we've been buddies for a long time.
Yeah.
Long time.
And we always talk, even through Nate seeing my struggles. Nate part of my journey.
Yeah.
All of us are. But I'm talking about when the rocks and the mortar, and he's part of my journey, and he was one of my anchors. So I love you, man, and I'm proud of you, just like they proud of you.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
You over there sitting quiet? What you guys say?
Over here just
amen.
Everything she said.
They said, okay, she's in. Go ahead.
I'm bagging the tears down, everything over here, but let me say that's Okay, so here's the thing, right?
Look, he
The
already know he about to
names
say
mean
it.
something, right? So the story goes when the Tay was being born, I told her mother, I don't care what you spit out that vagina, that baby name gonna be Nate, and it came out a girl. So I just put a little accent at the end and made it Nate. That's Junior. That's my Junior right there. And then at the time that Janae was conceived, her mother and I were really a good couple. And the result of that good couple love came Janae. Her name is half her mother's and half mine. Janice and Nate Janae. So that's how we named her. You know, and that's Junior right there. and guess what though? When I addressed them personally, I called her Junior. And when I addressed Janae, I call her twin. A lot of people say we have a lot of attributes alike, but I think that
I see it on both of them.
yeah, no, we all look alike, but I'm saying
No, I ain't talking
the
about,
twinning in us is more in our behavior than it is in our physical.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
I wasn't even talking about the physical. Because I see some Nate in her behavior.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, I see.
I mean, here's the thing.
Nate.
She the classy side. Here's the thing, Boo and Rodney.
That's when he had to go to the White House.
when being a single father early on, I became a single father. Janae was 4, she was 6, right? And then we got back together and we split up apart again because her and my mother had 2 chances at this marriage piece. But I had the opportunity to be there as a single dad during years that dads normally don't want to participate in being a dad. That's those teenage years. I was there for the first menstrual cycle.
I know.
I learned how to perm hair. Whose ear was that I almost cut off when I did the bob? Whose ear was that? Was that? I think it was Nate's ear I cut trying to cut a bob in because she wanted a bob, but I ain't had the money to send her to the beauty salon. So she got the little perm going on. I cut that bob. It was blunt. It looked good, but then her ear got in the way. And I end up chipping off the top of her ear. But guess what? She had that bob. You see what I'm saying? So trial and error.
Yeah, even though the ear was.
But I was fortunate enough to have them during those years where they were trying to find themselves. And God said,
these kids.
Yeah, God said, there's a fool with a bunch of my jewels. So let me help that fool out. So he said, I'm going to give him basketball.
Yeah.
And church. So they went to Catholic schools. Then they played basketball.
All of them?
All of them. Because everybody played basketball. Because I coached.
Yeah.
But the logistics were they all went to different schools all around the DC metro area. But we had one gym that they all knew how to get to. And I ran my basketball programs out of that gym. Not because by design, it was God who designed it. I was offered an opportunity at that gym. And then next thing I know, all my girls end up at that gym. So we basketballed until it was time to go home and eat, shower, go to bed, get up, go to school, basketball, eat, shower, go to gym. You know what I'm saying? We did that until they went off to college.
Day in and day out.
Day in and day out.
One thing, I don't know who poured that into you because I got poured the same mentality got poured into me coming up. And another shameless plug, we get ready to have our Rack League annual cookout this Saturday.
Okay.
Charles Houston Recreation Center, Alexandria, Virginia, the home of champions. So it got poured into me the same way. Like we didn't have a choice to.
Well, I'm gonna tell you how it got poured into me.
We didn't have a choice.
It didn't get poured into me by my immediate parents.
Okay.
My mother was very loving. My grandparents too was very loving. But I made a decision, right? I made a decision based upon my life experiences, and that's why I'm having this podcast right now. Because I want the listeners and the viewers out there to hear these perfect affirmation of these beautiful young ladies living that difficult life as a single mom, but still having the guts, the perseverance, the blessings to go after their dreams.
Mhm.
What happened for me was my dad was the best dad I could have had because he was never there.
I get it.
He left when I was 6.
I get it.
And I got mad. And I decided that if I ever have a kid, I would do the exact opposite of what he did. And I had a grandfather as an example of how to stay home and do whatever. Um, so I made a decision. And before my dad died, I told him, I said, dude, we ain't got no beef, man. You was the best father I could have possibly had because you taught me what not to do.
That's right.
Real simple.
That's how
You know what I'm
Alicia's
saying?
doing.
And my mom worked, she had 5 kids. She worked 2 jobs and went to school. So that means we had to govern ourselves. And it didn't turn out good. We're all alive, but we're not all striving at rates that maybe we could have if we had 2 parents in the household. So I said to myself, putting my children first is what my mom did by providing for us. But that socialization, showing up at school, my kids play sports. They never had to look into the crowd to see if their parent was there because I was the coach. I don't care what sport you played. I'm the coach because ain't nobody telling my girls what to do but me.
We on other teams, and now he on the end of the bench. You don't even belong here, sir. He making friends with the coaches, and now he assistant coaching. How?
I put that up.
How you here?
He used his skills.
That's right.
He had those skills. Was gonna cut in.
I cut in.
You want her? Come with it.
Listen. Let me tell you something. When she she left a prominent basketball school, Montrose Christian, put out Kevin Durant and all that. She left there and went to Northwestern, another prominent school for Lynn Bias and Green and your wife there.
Okay.
All right. So when she went there, the guy saw her and said, wait a minute. And one of her partners, AAU partners and friends, played there. They were all pressing her to play. And she was like, Dad, I ain't playing for nobody but you. I don't want to play for you. She had said that at Montrose. They wanted her. She had said that at Montrose, and another coach took over, didn't turn out as well as it should have.
So what happened?
So I went to the coach, and I said, look here, Slim. I know you want my daughter to play and everything, but she only play for me. It's a little meme that come out with the guy speaking to the little monkey on
I know you're talking about the Planet of the Apes.
Planet of the Apes, right?
Oh,
when he whispered in his ear. I lean over to him, I whisper in his ear. That boy you told on, come home tomorrow. I lean into his ear. That player you want, she only play for me. And he say, well, we don't need a coach, but we need a coach. And she ended up being a starting point guard at Northwestern High School. This young lady, she played at Carroll. She wasn't the greatest basketball player, but you know one thing? She worked hard. And I stayed on her. And the next thing I know, she's a starting point guard on the JV. Get ready to move up the varsity. Then she tricked me and said, well, Dad, I want to be a model.
And I want to piggyback on that. I just want to say, even when you were not our coach, you were still very much invested in so many other ways.
Come on.
You took me to every acting audition, every modeling audition. You pulled me out of summer school, put me on a train to go to New York in the first place. Had a cousin I probably barely even knew meet me there to put me on the bus. My father makes a point to be present, even if he can't be present. He's going to show up for you and make sure you have the support that you need and show you that he's there. He's the only dad I know who could drop you off at a party and pick you up at 1 o'clock in the morning and just be sitting there waiting and not complain.
You know, most parents, they go, well, I'll drop you off, but how you getting back?
Yeah.
Or I'll pick you up, but how you gonna get there? They give you one or the other. He be like, well, we ain't going through all that now. We going, if I gotta take you, then I gotta come get you.
Yeah. He
Agreed.
did all and not just to us, to other people, kids too.
Yeah.
Hey, we got a
You have some comments?
It's coming from Janae, when we gonna see you? Oh.
I mean, that would be lovely. You know, I don't know. We gotta make some things shake. I gotta reach out to some connects, and we gotta figure out what's next. I should have went last year, but it's just been a lot going on, honestly. But we're gonna work it out. We'll be back.
All right, now that you said that, I just want to throw this out. Okay, so we talking about the dream.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm gonna start off with the young lady on the phone. Go to Janae, then go to Nate to close it out.
Then I got a question.
This big dream thing. So you talked about Chanel opening up for Jay Farrell.
Mm-hmm.
That is huge. Tell us how long you've been doing this comedy thing and how you felt as part of that dream being realized.
I'm going back to that moment right now. It was just kind of shocking. I asked him, could I be on this show? And then he was like, I don't know, man. And then a moment later, he was like, yeah, you want to be on this show? You can get on this show. And I just couldn't believe it. And I was just so ecstatic and happy. And I rehearsed over and over. I had my friend to come support me. And she was more nervous for me than I was. And it went great. And then being on the stage at LOL, it's such a reputable, it's like the #1 comedy club next to Upstage, which is #2. So to be up there, it's very professional arena. And like the lights were subdued and everyone's attention was on me. There was no side chitter chatter. It was amazing. And they were laughing at all my jokes. So that was extremely rewarding.
All right. Congratulations.
And if you hear me, I would love, and I hope that I could work with him again too. He was extremely professional, which was amazing.
Nice.
Excellent.
Alicia,
about his business, yes.
You amazing. We had that last month show. Was it last month or the month before? We had the comedians on here.
Right. Month before.
Yeah, month before we had the comedians in the studio. So it's doable. Ashley Lurie grew up down the street from me, and I
Donnell Rollins.
Donnell Rollins. They call me Ashley. But, we had his mom in here, and these local comedians like we had on the show. We had Big Doug Scott, and he was on the phone, and then we had Dave, the comedian Dave Carter in the building, right?
Mm-hmm.
And those guys come from small town, Alexandria, Virginia, and it didn't look like it was going to work for a lot of them. They did a lot of hard work, but sometimes God moved you up quick.
Yeah.
That was a move up quick right there.
Yeah.
All right, Janae, tell us a little bit about that pinnacle of your dream thus far.
Okay, so for me right now, I am still learning to bask in what I have accomplished. Because for me, success looks different. As a music artist, there's so many music artists out there. I get to perform on big stages. I get to perform at, different events, and I love it. Performing is really my passion. But for me, success looks like, being able to take care of my family, being able to take care of my community. Like my success for me is bigger than me. It's not just, me being successful so I can live a lavish life. I'm not that type of person.
You already did that.
I'm not the type of person. It doesn't matter. Right, here you go. It doesn't faze me to live like that. I want to live a life where I can take care of people and inspire people.
Right.
And I feel like until I hit that point, I don't necessarily feel like I've done all I needed to do. But I do get to. I just said this on another podcast. A friend reminded me, and I haven't spoken to this. Like we haven't had like in-depth conversations for a long time. And so now that we are having these conversations, he was just like, I've watched you over on social media, and I've seen you grow over the years, and I've seen all that you've been doing, all that you've accomplished. And like, of course, it's not a thing to compare yourself, but it's like compared to what other people have been able to do, you've done amazing things. And so success looks different to everybody.
That's right.
And he was just like, He's like, be. He was like, definitely appreciate what you have done. So what I am trying to do now is be more grateful for the things that I have accomplished. Be more grateful for the things that I have done. I am content with a lot of the things that I've done. Now I do want more, and it's okay to be content with where you are and still want more. And I feel like that's why I'm able to live a life of peace and balance, because I'm still grinding, I'm still going after the dream and still going after the goals, but I am also being okay with what I've done so far.
All right, real quick before you go in.
TV, y'all need to really take a good look at this young lady here. Y'all need to call her up.
Support me.
Yeah, because she should be good on your.
Tell her where you at in Miami. What's going on in Miami?
What's the shows they got like?
They play your music on the BET. Zatima.
Oh yeah, Zatima.
Hey, hold up, forget that. What blew me away when Times Square.
Oh, took over Times Square. Yeah.
That was this guy.
Yeah, but it was amazing.
For sure.
It was amazing.
For sure.
But what I'm saying is those who doing those the reality shows and stuff.
Yeah.
She got the perfect personality for your
Thank
show
you.
to bring in a lot of ratings. So that's what I get about it.
Nah, I
She's gonna
appreciate
bring in a lot of ratings. I'm telling you, you need her on there.
I appreciate
Get her on there. Get Janae Music on your reality show.
For sure. Please do. And you can find me everywhere. Janae Music is Janae Music. I sing, I rap, I also write. So I'm working on writing for other people as well. I'm working with a production team, and they're pushing music to write for other artists. And then I'm also performing all over right now. This weekend, Labor Day weekend, I will be performing in Miami at the Miami Band Shell Theater, which is on South Beach. We have the Miami Takeover, DMV with the Miami Takeover. So I'm performing with New Impressions and Backyard Band.
Okay. Well, you better shout out. Slave Rhythm is my band.
Okay.
You better shout us out, man.
Okay, Slave Rhythm. So I gotta make sure I connect y'all with them so that y'all can do next year's. So it'll be it's a huge event, and it's supposed to be really, really lit, real fun. So we're doing that, and then I'll be back in Atlanta September 16th for a performance at the Limelight Theater.
So let me ask you this: are you two guys in town for the weekend?
No, I'll be in Miami. I know.
Tell us about your pinnacle of success and how you feel.
I feel I'm still evolving and growing in my success. I just feel like I've jump started into really investing in myself and my business and taking it more serious. So it doesn't just be a hobby or something I do on the side. It's more so like learning not to shortcome myself.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm easily the type of person where I'll do it for free. I'll help you out. And now it's just like, oh, this is a business. Like the same way I invest in you, now I'm investing in myself. So I feel like I'm at the space now where I'm learning how to find that balance of creating a space of taking the business aspect to another level and not just a hobby. So I'm still learning. I'm still growing. There's so much to still accomplish, but just fully investing in it and diving in it and taking it more serious and understanding that in the process of that, it's more to learn. There's so much to the business side I have no clue about. I can style all day, but the business aspects of websites and, technology, social media, all of that is new to me. So I just feel like I'm at the point now where I'm fully invested in growing as a person in my business and taking that to the next level.
And also, y'all, I'm going to say this on this one here. If you need a role, any role, she can play any role. Yeah. So consider her.
Yes.
Consider her. She's a healthy new face.
Yes.
She got a bright, sparkling disposition. Hey, look, and she's versatile. She can play any role. So
I dibble and dabble and act a little bit too.
Yeah, come on, man.
We done the stage plays and all those
things.
Sure.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that.
No, because he wants to talk about him again. He's talking about you.
What stage play was y'all in?
The 70s.
Yeah, y'all was in the stage play called Hold on, boo. She said she was in the stage play called the 70.
Okay. You was with that.
It was about the 70 bus.
Uh-huh.
The 70 bus.
And he was the bus driver.
He was the bus driver.
The star of the show was the bus driver.
Boy,
he was in every scene.
I also was in another stage play. It was a musical called No Bundles.
Yes.
So since you want to talk about stage plays.
And the little movies.
Hold on.
Yes, I was also in a movie called Renegade.
Lil Nate had,
I don't even remember the name of the ones I was in.
but
She was in the 72.
You were. You
Yeah,
was in
but-
Serafina.
I was in things so long ago. That's not my passion anymore.
Okay.
He
Hey, still
My
call.
passion is for
said still
fashion.
call her.
I really don't want to be.
She can
in
do
front
your
of the camera
wardrobe.
no more.
She
She can do
absolutely
your
can.
wardrobe.
Now we talking about film, Miss Chanel. Tell us a little bit about the
film industry
content that you have,
Comedians are actors.
all of that content that you have out there on social media. Tell us about that and where we can find you.
Oh my goodness.
It's not nothing we talk
I
show.
just make little remarks. I kind of say silly things to people to kind of make them feel uncomfortable. I'm a little dry. And I kind of do some little skits too with some of my friends. So you can find me on Instagram and TikTok at Fine Tracks. So Fine Tracks, like railroad tracks. So yeah, so I have a few videos that I do need to put up. I want to put up one later, but I know that we have this podcast. But yeah, but look out for me, and I do have some shows. I had a show last weekend, my first paid show. So like that was
Woo!
All right, get that money.
Yeah.
When they start paying you, then your wealth, your worth is gets higher when they start paying. Yeah. I got an idea for a whole nother talk show, so we're gonna talk about that.
Mr. Rodney, jump in here, man. Jump in here.
I'm sitting here just reminiscing and just pondering on quite a few things that these young ladies have spoken of. I have 3 biological kids, 1 daughter, and my daughter was in the music business.
How many kids you got?
Well, right now with my marriage, I have 6.
Nice.
All right, that's a good number.
That's right.
That's a good number.
Biologically, 2 sons and 1 daughter.
You got 6 kids, right?
Well,
Ain't no splitting in hairs and nothing. You got 6 kids.
Okay.
Yeah, biological or mail in or
Yeah,
store.
walked around the corner.
Yeah.
Well,
You got 6.
Yeah, and I would say that because it's the funniest thing.
And you ain't put your phone on mute. You the one told us.
Yeah, he did, didn't it?
And I thought,
Man in what?
In the mirror.
you know, if we had the mirror here, I would.
He had to stand up in the mirror and apologize to himself.
I just bought a house. Me and my wife, we got blessed. But I bought the mirror. So we got to come and hang it up in here because you going to the mirror
Next time you do something like felonious like that, that's a felony. In our world, that's a felony.
That's a felony.
Level 1.
Yeah, level 1.
I do want to say that I was sitting here listening when you was giving him his flowers. I started thinking about my kids. And then I was thinking about with your children because I have a daughter. Some of the things that were said just really resonated inside my spirit because I started going back and remembering how my daughter is, and why she do some of the things she do. I'm really proud of all 3 of you females. And what I want to tell you that, again, don't mind my demeanor because I'm just exhausted.
You're fine.
But I can tell you this, what I was sitting here thinking quietly. Your inspiration is not based just on the parent. It's on listen to each one of you. And I was watching. I'm a person. I also watch people. I read people. I see. And even with the young lady on the phone, I see this real unique strength. That's saying, "Hey, I am who I am."
Yeah.
You
Thank
know?
you.
And this is when you're not afraid to step out and say, "This is who I am,"
Unapologetic.
and do it publicly.
Yeah.
See, it's not easy to do that.
Yeah.
I'm talking about to walk in and tell a person, I can dress you and show you how to lift up your spirit or to be who you want to be. I can show you how to feel good about yourself and walk with a little, class with you.
They call it swag.
Put that swag on it. Not only is it a gift, but you're talking about something that requires a lot of confidence because people depend on you.
Yeah.
You going on the stage, you know darn well that not everybody gonna love you.
Mm-hmm.
But I tell you one thing: if you get up there and you do it with confidence, they're gonna look at you.
Yeah.
And the young lady with the comedian, let me
That's
tell you
hard.
something. That's hard.
So hard.
Come on now, you get on the stage and you trying to make people laugh. You always got that super knucklehead that's in there that want to try to, give you. But you know something? You have that confidence. So I just want to say that I was sitting here. I really, I'm going through a phase in my life at 63 years old that I reminisce a lot because I want to make sure that my footsteps are planted firmly, and I want my daughters, and my sons, and that happened to be my wife over there on
Boy,
the
Lady
board
Z.
thing, and
Lady Z.
we talk sometime, and I'll talk about my kids. So when you was talking about your dad, um, just a little jealous, just a little.
A little bit. A little
I
bit.
just,
Look, just a little bit. A little bit.
that's a misdemeanor.
Yeah, that's a
It
misdemeanor.
could be turned to a felony.
It could be a fact.
Look,
We might upgrade
we
that.
might upgrade
We
that
might have to upgrade
just a
that.
little bit.
Mhm.
But I like to say this because I go with my spirit. Everybody talked about God, right? So I had to mention Jesus Christ. And I ain't talking about religion, and it's so disturbing that they put him with the religion thing. He's not a religious figure. It's talk about love, period. Brotherly love, unconditional love. That was a message. Unconditional love, sacrifice of self, those type of things. You know, and that's what I heard here. Even though you guys talked about your individual dreams and your goals, the basis, the seed of it was that hey, I'm not doing this for me, even though I'm doing this for me.
Yes.
I'm not doing it for the fame and the glory and all that. I'm doing this to plant a seed of hope and a legacy to leave for example. Our children and other children can come behind and they can put their anchor in this is what I'm doing.
I gotta do something real quick because that phone call could have been a viewer, and I'm just going to say this: if that was the viewer Dennis Brown from Atlanta calling, you can call back on my phone and I will answer it. I'm just saying that because I'm just surprised. I know it's possible he's definitely watches the program. So I'm going to say that. So if Dennis, if that was you, I know that was you on the phone. But if you watching and you was trying to call so that you wanted to make a comment or something, go ahead and call my phone back.
Okay.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I do
He
want
trying to get that felony knocked down to a misdemeanor.
Yeah, I see.
He trying to take a cop a plea. He trying to cop a plea over here. He trying to get that bond reduced. You know what I'm saying? But he don't know. Tommy Broadwater died a couple of months ago. That's the bond, Joker. We ain't doing that around here. He think he Trump or something.
The dude on Alexander did for years. What my man Knoxville father? What was my man that used to bomb people out in Alexander?
I know you know.
Hernandez.
Hernandez.
He been gone for
He been gone. We ain't doing that. Take your charge. You did a crime. Do the time.
You don't get no bugger. You might flee.
Yeah, he look like a fleeing type of dude. He a flight risk. He a flight. Look at all the people he know. Look at all the people he know. Yeah, he can go anywhere. Yeah, bar denied. And then he got on a hat that say he'd have been in the military. He'd have been overseas. We'll never find him.
I'm not running over. I'm following these positive thinking
females
Amen.
that are talk about following their goals, their dreams. They dealing with mental health. They dealing with depression. They dealing with
still
everyday
thrive.
society stereotype. They dealing with the fact that they have that dark melanin in their skin. They dealing with the fact that they single mothers. They dealing with the fact that they up here trying to deal with the economy. They dealing with everything and still standing strong.
Still thriving.
This is
Well,
what
let me say this:
Oh,
See,
the deck is
Yeah.
always stacked against us as minorities,
yeah.
but it's
This kind of
doubly
minority.
stacked.
This kind of
It's
minority.
doubly stacked
Yeah.
against the black female.
Mhm.
Okay, now you always gonna have haters in whatever you do. I'm sure there's some folks hating on the Tay because she flies hell and on the Instagram showing her outfits and getting clients. I'm sure that there's folks saying I can sing better than Janae or she ain't do that dance right. I'm sure there's some folks saying, oh, I don't know how Chanel got that first shot with Jay Farrell. They hating, you know what I mean? But I just want to tell everybody out there, haters are elevators,
Mm.
they be your
right?
biggest fans.
If you don't have haters,
Mhm.
you ain't doing something right.
And if you don't want your haters, you got enemy.
You'll take them a boot.
Hey, what Cat Williams say? If you don't have enough of them, you need to get some more.
Yeah.
What you do is keep pushing.
Mhm.
But also,
Go ahead.
No,
Go ahead.
I just wanted to say, like, to single moms out there as well that are aspiring to go after their dreams and stuff like that. Everybody's story and success is different. So just like we are talking about, you always going to have haters to elevate you. When it comes to your success and what that looks like, do not compare yourself to others. Your story, your walk is your journey, and theirs is theirs. Own yours, walk in that. And that's going to make you stand out and be the individual that you are. I think a lot of times some people get stifled because they say, okay, I'm doing this and they're doing this. How is that? Your walk is your walk.
That's
and
right.
At the end of the day,
find a suit to fit you
exactly,
and put it on.
And wear it.
Mm.
Exactly.
One of the things that and this sitting in the midst of these two gentlemen and the things that we do, and then we have guests come on to the podcast and we talk about that. Let me tell you what I do. I steal.
Favor.
I'm a legal stealer. I stole the thing about the plate.
Yeah.
Oh, you gonna that? See, I have been show
Legal
people to people. I'm going to talk about that.
I hope so.
You just talked about the confidence and not leaning on other people and judging other people or judging yourself up against other people. I'm going to take that. And the young lady on the phone, Chanel, you said you wanted to open up for the gentleman, right?
She did.
And she asked for it.
Did she put that into her agenda and made it happen? So right here, I'm just sitting here, y'all sitting here, and a lot of people who are watching the program, y'all got to understand is the opportunities when we watch and learn from one another.
Yeah.
You know, take what we do. This is one of them.
The talk show.
No, yeah, but what you call it? The plug. You call it a shameless plug.
Shameless.
That's it's the show that matters. That's all I can
The
tell
talk
you.
Talk show
The
that
talk
matters.
show.
Okay.
What we do,
Don't leave that up.
we bring the people in, and we talking true reality.
Mhm.
These are not rehearsed conversations. This is not something that you said earlier. You said about dealing with the mental health.
Mhm.
A lot of people are afraid to even acknowledge it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're afraid.
Rodney, I'm crazy. I just got some walk around since now. You know that?
And then you talked about when you was going through your health issues as well. But what did you do? What all three of y'all ladies do? What was the key thing that you did, if you can say? Now answer that question and answer it with a couple of words.
Okay.
What was the key thing that all three of you ladies did through y'all trials and tribulations? The lady said she just lost
Her fiance.
What's the key thing that each one of y'all have done?
Who me? I can answer for it.
that is very profound.
That stands out.
That stands out that you want to tell the audience. Let's start with the lady on the phone.
Chanel.
And wait a minute, before you answer, I'm gonna give you a clue. All three of y'all should have the same answer.
And then as the point guard, once you guys answer, I'm gonna sum it up In one word.
Repeat the question.
In your hardest time, what did you lean into to get through it? Basically.
What was the thing that
What did you do?
that y'all all three of y'all have in common?
Yeah, have in common. That's what.
That all three of y'all kind of said that is very very profound, and you can say it in a couple of words. I'm giving you some help.
Don't
Now,
get
what
it.
y'all-
What's y'all common denominator?
Yeah, remembering your
I would
child, keeping your kid.
I would just
He
say,
said
like,
no, that ain't
believing in yourself, having faith, and looking forward, being grateful for what you have, and trying to put. I would just say, like, if you're in like a low you're feeling low, just to get out of that mindset, you need to set some goals for yourself. Set a small goal so you can achieve it, and then you can feel that reward, and then set more goals and achieve more. That would make me feel better.
Okay, so you keep that. I said a few words, right?
Right. Don't give it away.
I ain't gonna give it away. What? Go ahead. How would you describe it?
I think for me it was prayer, and I asked for help.
Okay.
I communicated where I was.
Then I'm gonna give her the edge.
No.
Let her go ahead.
You can't get away, man.
You can't get one edge and get the rest of the edge. Don't show no face. Let's go ahead.
You gonna spoil it.
But it's also for me. It's also remembering my why. Like for me, it's always holding on to the kid.
Answer the question.
I was gonna say that it's bigger than you.
Okay.
It's bigger than you.
Can I bring it home as
Go ahead.
What is?
You all persevered.
Come on, bro.
You knew.
Okay.
Yes.
You all persevered. No matter how you did it. Don't give up. Listen, no matter how you did it. I tell you
I'm gonna put one word into that perseverance, but go ahead.
You know why I said persevere? I'm gonna tell you why. Because that's what Rodney was alluding to. But it is the elephant in the room. Because all you guys persevered, no matter how you did it. You did it different. She did it different. Yeah. But you persevered. You never gave up.
Yeah. That's it.
But guess what? But perseverance in there is preserve, right? You have to have something in the preserve, right? In order for you to persevere.
Well, you talking about too.
Hold man. Wait a minute. Let me finish. You had yours.
All right. Go ahead.
Pass the ball. Let me dunk that jump. All right. You prep God. Let me go ahead and do what I do. All right. Steph Curry more my thing. But anyway, so.
You just want 3 points.
I want 3 points, right? And actually, I'm going to get 4 because you just fouled me. And I'm going to the line and getting that because my rating is like 99.9.
Oh, my God.
Anyway, in order to persevere, you got to have one thing. Faith.
That's it.
Right?
Now that's
because,
too.
Wait a minute. No. Hold on.
Well,
everybody talked about living their self and their purpose.
Yeah.
Right? But in every action that they described,
it took faith.
Everything started
with faith.
Now
I'm agree. No, I'm agree with him because that's what this thing's about.
Right.
But I agree with him because a coin has 2 sides. On that thing there, Rodney, where he just said, on one side is perseverance, but on the other side, the coin is the same coin.
Yeah. I think I know what you were coming from or what you were alluding to, but I think the way that you asked it didn't offer us a chance to say that.
Exactly. No. That's because he's old.
No.
He's 63.
No.
He's 63.
No, guess what?
He's 62 and a half.
Nigga.
You are
not in a half. I just got there. No, we put no halves on. I ain't got to the half yet.
You know
I mean, it is.
Nigga, we ain't asked for it.
That's a family.
I did it on purpose for this one reason.
Okay.
I knew when I said that you can say it just in a few. But I knew you could say it in many ways. The one thing I just wanted to,
But you was thinking they persevered.
No, I was thinking about that. Really, I wanted them to say we never
gave up.
Same thing.
Keep going.
Same thing. That's why when you said I shook your hand back. Listen, for individuals who out there who are struggling to find your way, no matter what it was, each one of y'all have been through something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Each one of y'all got kids.
I want to say this too. I heard too. This one quote I heard. It said, "If you're going through a storm, why would you stop? You gonna stay in the storm?"
Yeah.
You gotta keep going to
Yeah,
get
go
out
to
of the
it.
storm.
Only
Yeah.
way, you
Otherwise,
know what I tell my clients, and they come in there detoxing and with that new fentanyl stuff.
hmm
It's like they spitting up green stuff, and they be hurt bad. And I'm telling them, and I told them, I said, man, sad thing about this is the only way out is through.
through,
Yeah.
yeah. And then it's also, at the end of the day, when you're moving forward, like you can't, but like you said, you got to keep going. I think that it becomes a time where it's like you don't know what it looks like on the other side. But at the end of the day, the only way you fail is by stopping. Like at the end of the day, if you're playing a game, if you keep playing and keep playing and keep playing, you're not losing. You could be behind,
But you
but
ain't
you
losing.
ain't lose yet. There's no such thing as losing. You either lost or you're still in it. So if you quit, then you lost. But if you keep going, you can stay in it until you die, baby. You ain't lost yet. You're not gonna lose because you keep going. So that's one thing I always say, like, keep going. If you keep trying, it don't matter how many times it didn't work out or how far behind you are. You're not losing because there's no such thing as really losing. You either lost or you win.
In this show, and one thing we all have in common is the glass is always half full.
Yeah.
It's optimistic, right? Rodney alluded to some things when he's talking about how you girls all assume that same thing.
hmm
I'm telling you, when you're optimistic, and they be talking about faith, that's what it is.
Yeah.
When you're optimistic, that you don't look at the condition. You already know you're gonna get through. You know you're gonna get through. Not that you guess you think you're gonna get through.
Because you done been through so much already.
Yeah.
That builds muscles.
That's the
So,
fuel in the
let
engine.
me finish. Today we had a new supervisor at the job. Guy, Mr. Irk, shout out to him. He came for a guy like me. He came into my unit just to talk to me as a man, and that's that type of stuff. Because at one time, man, I didn't know how long I was going. I'm being honest, because it seemed like you're not appreciated. You know what I'm saying? So being optimistic, you get these moments like that. You understand what I'm saying? And it meant a lot to me. So that's why I said that.
That's what's up.
But I want to bring this around, right? Because I know we cutting down on time. We got about 12 more minutes.
7.
Was it?
11.
7 more minutes. Okay.
That's
So
a
I'm sorry.
misdemeanor.
Thank you
That's
very
a
much.
misdemeanor.
Yeah, that's a misdemeanor.
False time.
You got the police right here. You know what I'm saying? She always been the damn police.
I ain't never been a police.
So she
that's a
dry snitching ass.
Yeah.
I ain't
Look,
never been that either.
well,
I
you
keep
just
it
did
100.
that.
That's
Oh,
just
you
what
keep
it
it
is.
100.
That's all
Okay.
it is.
Okay. All right. So let me just bring this around. Let me just bring this
Okay,
around.
not even that. I'm holding the mirror to you. Okay.
All right, boy, I hate when you pass the smart jeans on to me. That's the twin right there with that bullshit. That's the twin with that bullshit. Hold on, let me bring this around though.
That was a thorough. It was
I got y'all. He wanted to bring it around. I brought it all the way.
All right. Okay, so the show was and is single mothers, right? Right? Keeping the dream alive. Let's not forget, you can't be a single mother without a child.
Yeah.
And we've talked a lot about getting through
You can't be.
success. We've talked about a lot of things. But one thing that was told to everyone by you three ladies, child 1st.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to get that lost by the audience through the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
In order to be a successful parent, child 1st.
Yes.
Now, let me tell you.
Oh, let me finish. If that means, like everyone talked about sacrifice, that means before the child came, I was party hardy.
Yeah.
Ain't no more party. And I got to find a way to be all right with that.
Yeah.
If I was a seamstress, if I was a singer, if I was a writer and comedian, if I was all these things prior to the child getting here, all those things have to be set aside till I can get comfortable with myself as a parent to that child. Then those other dreams can be chased. And realize.
So you talking about the prioritize?
It's prioritize. It's child 1st.
So Nate, the reason I was chiming in when you was saying that, Janae already said that she was doing it for a child, but
Right.
she had to pull some things into herself.
Yeah.
Because if you don't like, and Nate, you know this, I know your journey. So you had to do some work on Nate
Before I can do that.
before
Yeah.
you could.
Yeah.
And God knew He didn't give them to you when your work was not fully.
Well, no, he gave it to me when I was still fucked up, but
No.
we were still in the process.
No, but listen. But the point is, when He did give them to you, you was on the journey.
I was on a journey. Yes.
Of healing.
That's correct.
Right. So it ain't like you're gonna get in and you fully. I'm ready.
Right.
So,
No, ain't nobody ready.
Nobody ready.
Ain't
So
nobody
what
ready.
I'm saying is, it's on the job training.
Yeah.
But you did get them when you was on the track.
You got them when you needed them.
Yeah. When you need them, because guess what? They grew you up too.
Yeah, without my kids, I wouldn't be the man I am today.
Okay.
It's really that simple. And so I'm gonna say this to all the parents out there, single and otherwise. If you want to reach your greatest potential as an individual, mind your damn business. Your business, no, but your business to mind is the business that God gave you.
Yeah.
Take care of that child,
Yeah.
and it will grow you up.
Yeah.
Hey Nate.
Yeah. That's
Please
great.
say that one more time.
Mind your damn business.
Yeah, but what he was, but the knowledge he gave you on that was a twist. He's saying not nobody else business. He said, your stewardness.
Listen, I mean, sometimes if you listen to what's said,
especially if I say it. Especially if I say it. Yeah.
But I knew you understand, but we talking about for the viewers.
I'm talking about.
Now I'm just saying it because my daughters here, they know how I do.
Yeah. Honestly, again, sometimes my whole goal is to make sure that the viewers are included in the room.
Yeah.
Right.
And so that's why I want to say the importance of that is mind your own business, meaning attend to you, tend to what's going on around you, and if you're a single mother, then tend to your child first. Don't worry about Dolores and Kevin and Keith and all them. Tend to your child and mind your business, because in that process, when you get your business under control, you can help somebody else.
For sure.
See, if your whole situation is chaotic and all out of whack, you can't tell nobody nothing.
Well, you can't
Let
do
me
the
say
stuff
this.
they doing.
Let me say this.
Close it real quick.
When you are taking care of your stuff, like even if imagine if I say I have a business proposal, if I'm not tending to my business and I'm not making it grow, nobody wants to invest in me. Nobody wants to support me. So it's the same thing. If you have children as a single mom, if you taking care of your kids and you putting your kids first and people see that, they'll be like, let me help you. I see you. Let me help you. You know what I mean? That's what I've learned over time. Like, because it's not I don't do it to get it, because some people are like, I need help. No, your kids need you. And if you pouring into your children, people will see. They'll want to do for you. It's the same thing with dating or whatever.
Hold your time. Now we running out of time, so I want to go around the room. Miss Chanel, can you tell the folks how to look at you, reach you? You got an Instagram or something? Throw that out there real quick.
All right, I'm on Instagram and TikTok. Finetracks, FINETRACKS. So Instagram and TikTok, Alicia Chanel. So go there. You get some laughs. If you're having a bad day, go check me out. See what I'm up to.
All right, excellent. Miss Janae Music.
I'm Janae Music. You can find me everywhere. Janae Music is JANAE Music. If you can't spell music, you probably shouldn't be on there anyway. I'm everywhere.
That is Nate.
So yeah, check me out. I have music streaming on all platforms. If any style you like, there's something that you will like. So just listen to all of them and then choose your favorite and let me know.
All right.
You can find me on Instagram, phenomenal_Tay37, and off the rack styles by Tay.
Okay, this whole thing been off the hook. So listen, this is the Man in the Mirror, the talk show
that matters.
And I want to say this before we go. The whole concept of taking care of your own business is first taking care of the man in the mirror.
Amen.
And I want to say this, Chanel.
Yes.
Where are you located?
I'm in Texas.
Okay, do me a favor. One.
What's that?
I would like for you to go to YouTube and put in Rodney Grimes, People to People, and subscribe, because right now that's the platform that they'll be able to see Man in the Mirror, all the Man in the Mirror shows.
Okay.
Okay. You can also see the People to People podcast. I want to make something really important. And if y'all would, please go to YouTube to subscribe. And I'm going to tell you something else. In our process, as we move forth, we have to make sure that the audience know how to support us so we can keep coming.
Correct.
So since you said that, make sure you go to Boo Jones SRB on YouTube and also Kevin Ruffin II. That's Go Roundtable. And you can see a lot of more contests because we all together.
Yeah.
So, and while y'all doing all that, you go out on that YouTube, IG, and all that stuff. But look, subscribe to Politicking Like a Clock. Politicking Our Way. Okay. So you can get that live Nate Jenkins with Dennis Johnson as a producer.
And guess what, y'all? We all together on this journey, right?
Yes,
that's
indeed.
What we're gonna be an example of we're gonna be example
of the power. Yeah, not powers of the example. We're example of the power.
So look, with that said, we gotta get up out of here. Next month, we right back here the last Thursday at 7 o'clock of September. The last Thursday.
Every last Thursday of the month, 7 p.m. And believe me, Nate Jenkins, Boo Jones, and Rodney Grimes.
Yes, sir.
We gonna bring it to you. It's the show that matters.
The talk show that matters.
Somebody get the handcuffs.
Yeah. He on the felonious trail again.
It's all up on there and everything.
Hold up.
The talk show that matters. And he made it. He coined the phrase. Made it fly.
Hey man, I don't
count us out, Lady V.
We love you.
Well, I tell you.
We love you.
Give Lady V a shine. She behind the scenes doing her thing, making it all happen. Miss Chanel, thank you so very much for chiming in with us today. And lovely Janae Music and lovely Nate Daniels of Off the Rack Styles by Tay.
Thank you guys.
Thank all you ladies for showing up on the talk show that matters. All right.